Morning. Another day, or rather another month, another vlog. First thing on my agenda. You're eating a tomato. Eating fruits like this, peppers, kiwis, as they are, highly underrated. I recommend it. You're not got to mess about with all the faffing of cutting it up, etc. Ideal. Anyway, I'll finish this, get a shower, get off to the gym, and then get back to you in a bit. I'm off to the gym now. In between the last clip and this, you've not missed much. I woke up, had a shower, brushed my teeth, had a wee. Did all of it at the same time actually. Some might say that's disgusting. I say efficiency, time saving. Listen, if you want to be strutting around in H&M's cheapest, these are just a few tips and tricks that'll get you on my level, alright? Just bear that in mind. Anyhow, it's a bit windy, sorry if the audio's a bit blustery. I would imagine, actually no, I've got a bit more talking to do before we come to the gym. Today I am training legs. Since post-lockdown and the gym and etc, everything's opened, I can't decide what I want this block of training to be. I don't know whether I want to go for hypertrophy or for strength. The thing is with strength, you don't really get that much of a pump. So whilst the training's really hard, the endorphin rush you get isn't that great. So as of sort of 2 weeks ago, I decided, right, I'm just going to go for hypertrophy, get the next level endorphin rushes, put a bit more weight back on, because over lockdown I lost about 10 kilos. The majority of it was fat, most of it was muscle, the majority of it was fat, some of it was muscle, so I want to try and put that muscle back on and just get a bit more size. And then once I've got that size back up, then I'm going to go into another strength training block. So today we're going to wake up to a heavy weight where I can do 8 reps. So yeah, hypertrophy range is 8 to 12 reps. A lot of people think, and I used to think this as well, when you're doing sort of 8 to 12 reps, you just pick a decent weight and then you lift it for 8 reps. And you will get stronger and you will develop some more hypertrophy in your muscles from that. However, it's not the optimal way to train. What that means, that 8 to 12 rep range means, is the stimulus, i.e. load that you're lifting, needs to be that intense that you fail your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th or 13th rep. That's what it means. So today I'm going to start off, I'm going to go for my working weight with, I'm going to try and go for 8 reps at my first working set. So that really needs to be like an RP 9, 10 for that first set of 8, and then the next set will probably be 7, the next set after that will probably be 6, something like that. Anyhow, cut to the gym. So before doing this weight, I've got 110 kilos on the bar. So before doing this, I'd warmed up with the bar. For me, warming up the bar isn't really about trying to get the muscles warm. I've already done that by walking to the gym and doing a little bit on the leg extension. Warming up with the bar is about practicing the movement of squatting and making sure that all my muscles are firing off as they should be, so it's a nice coordinated movement. This set at 110 did feel really hard. I've probably got another 2 reps in the bank probably, so it was like an RP 8 as opposed to 9 or 10, so I could have done more, but just bottled it. But watching the footage back, I can tell that my glutes are struggling to keep up with my quads, and what I mean by that is my knees are able to extend more comfortably than my hips are in this movement, so you can see
my knees get quite straight and my hips are still very much flexed, and then eventually my knees will get slightly more straight, my hips will rise because my knees have become straighter, and then my hips are able to extend, slightly delayed in comparison to my knees. And that's just about trying to get stronger glutes and hamstrings, so I'm able to extend my hips at the same rate as I am my knees. But yeah, no, that's a good set. And then went straight into some single-legged step-ups with a couple of dumbbells, and I'd noticed that I was struggling to open my hips, probably because of a hamstring and glute weakness in comparison to the quads. And this single-leg step-up is really good. Sorry about that, some dog barking in the background. This single-leg step-up's really good for developing glute strength, just because it really engages and recruits those fibers in the glutes.
Just finished the session and it went pretty much as I thought it would go. Working up to sort of my heavy working sets for squat. So I sort of warmed up 60 kg, 80 kg, 100 kg. Working sets were 110 kilos. Went exactly as I thought it would. Got 8 reps on my first set at 110 and it felt hard. Looking at the footage, it didn't look as hard as it actually felt. I'm in focus now. Didn't look as hard as it actually felt. I could have probably got a few more reps though, to be fair. But yeah, the whole thing that I was talking about when I said, you know, the 8 to 12 rep range means you've got to be trying hard enough so that you actually fail on the 9th, 10th, 11th rep, etc. Knowing that's easy, executing it is a lot harder. So yeah, I could have done more than 8 reps, but sort of bottled it at 8. And then on the next set I got 7, and then the set after that got 7. So my reps went down, which was good. It shows that this stimulus is definitely hard enough for me not to be able to sustain that for all reps. So whilst I know I'm training properly, it's just a bit of a shame to know that I've lost so much strength in comparison to before lockdown. Before lockdown I could do 125 I think for a set of 8, and yeah, that's just defo not going to happen at the moment. So slowly building the reps back up. Then after that, as you saw, I did the single leg step ups, which is like just a major key exercise for building your glute strength, and just really good for glute activation. And then did some lunges, then did some goblet squats after that. And I know I've trained well because my quads are cramping big time, which is really nice. I'll be walking along and then I'll just all of a sudden fall because the muscles just spasm. But yeah, plan is now go to my girlfriend's, chill out for a bit, then little train going past, wait for that to finish, and then after that I am meeting up with a mate, having a little calisthenics bar session just to get bit of an overall body workout, but focusing more on the back muscles. Didn't tax my back muscles too much when I went to the gym the other day, just so I could get a bit more volume in later on, because I knew I was going to have this session. So that's another way to overload your muscles. You can either increase the intensity with regards to how heavy the weight is that you're lifting, or you can do more volume. So to overload my back muscles, I'm just building in more volume. But yeah, I'll probably film when I'm on the way to the bars in a bit.
Yes, just doing a few muscle ups here. Whilst muscle-ups actually look like an extreme version of a pull-up, they're as much a core exercise and hip flex exercise as they are a back exercise. If you've got an explosive core and hip flexors and a relatively strong back, you can do a muscle-up easily. It's just all about coordination. Here Josh is just doing something called a typewriter, so basically slide from side to side, holding a pull-up at the top, and what that does is it biases the load to one side of the body rather than the other. It's just another way of overloading the back muscles. And all we're doing here is just messing about with trying to do the human flag, which is arguably in the calisthenics world of sort of basic movements without trying to string movements together, one of the hardest movements there is. It's a huge overall body movement, a lot of emphasis put on the core, so you know, sort of your obliques and your transverse abdominis are really engaged, but also your adductors and abductors of your hip, they're all massively engaged. The lats are engaged too, shoulders, triceps, biceps, like everything. There's a lot that goes into this movement and it's really hard. So we were just playing about with different variations of trying to do it. I was able to hold a sloppy flag, as you're about to see here, for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, but ended up with some major glute cramp, which was not nice.
What you did? Yeah. Oh man.
I'd done Josh a bit of a disservice with when I started to film this clip. He held that much longer than shown on camera. He definitely was able to do the movement much better than me. So all we're doing here is hanging by one hand and trying to lift the legs straight out in front of each other. I have awfully tight hamstrings, so my legs are very bent. And naturally when you hang by one hand, you want to spin around away from the bar, sort of going out, sort of, I don't know, if you're hanging by your right hand, you're going to spin away to your left, which basically means that your humerus is going to go through passive medial rotation if you don't try and counteract it. So just hanging on a bar and counteracting that rotation is a really good movement for your lateral rotators. So your teres minor and infraspinatus, they are massively engaged when you try and combat that rotation. This video's been going on for quite some time now. I think there's been a lot of the same thing going on with just repetition of movements on the bars. I wouldn't blame you if you're starting to get a little bit bored. That's completely fair enough. Regardless of whether you got bored or not, still like the video please. I would appreciate that. I'm just going to let this video end and play out with this clip of me trying to teach Josh. Well, not so much teach, he's pretty much got it, he just needs to practice it a bit more. But of giving some pointers on how to do a muscle up. So yeah, peace out and sleep well.
Yeah. I'm expecting the pull up to just take me all the way up.
Yeah, but you've got to swivel around, change it into a dip. It's filming, keep rolling. So basically, it's like, once you've gone out there, you're starting to banana a bit too much, so you leave your banana position once you're out there. At that point, you already want to be primed and prepped to come into a crunch. So as you come back, banana, and then so as you swing out, banana, and then before you start swinging back, bring yourself more neutral, get those abs tight, so you're ready to just pull straight up. And then again, on that time, you left it slightly too late. Slightly too late to pull up. So the momentum had already stopped and you start to come back in by the time you went to get over the bar. So you were too far away from the bar when you were wanting to get over it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you don't need a big swing either. So just a small swing. So this is, you want to go this far out. That's what you want.
Okay.
That's what you want. And then once you're out here, you want to find your abs, bring them up like that, and then you just pull it.
Do that. Oh, bro, sorry, I didn't I only got half of your body then, sorry, I was too busy listening to you.
You don't want a big swing, I've probably got too much as it is. Get out of that there. Try and get out. Ready, look up.
Yeah, I got that one.
But it's got to practice, it's work in progress. So.